to the second to last episode of Inside Indiana Volleyball, the final week of the regular season. Sean Nash, Coach Sherry Dunbar-Kruzan. This past week, the Hoosiers dropped both final home matches Wednesday night to Nebraska, but a much more competitive effort than the first time you guys played the Cornhuskers.
Yeah, obviously still not acceptable to, number one, not win a set against them and not, play as competitive as we wanted to at home. I think the first set, obviously, you just wash it. We just didn't show up. The next two were much more competitive, but I thought even looking at film with them, we see a lot of the little things we're still not doing at a high enough level to take sets off of those type of teams. So happy that we came and we competed at the end and lost 26-24 in that third. Had a chance to win that set, but definitely we need to win at a higher level, and we need to take sets off those teams, and especially when you're playing in your home environment. That's where you really want to get those type of ranked teams.
And someone we really haven't gotten to talk about a lot this season, Allison Hammond. She really kept you guys into that, especially the third set. And it was almost exclusively going to her on the attack. She had her second double-double of the season, 10 kills, 10 digs. Can you talk about her and the growth you've seen out of her this season?
Well, I think that was the really bright spot of the whole night. Only playing a set and a half and hitting, I don't know what she ended up hitting, 259 or 269 or something like that, and only playing a set and a half, and then leading us in kills, leading us in digs. So I think the true measure of that was we keep talking to the kids about going for it, what that means to go for it. And when we say that, it means really play with speed, go for the big swings, decision make better. And so for them to be able to see a player finally do that at a high level in a match like that and come in and do it, I thought was the biggest positive of the whole weekend, and earned her a spot to start, against Illinois. I felt so strongly about it because I think that's what we keep preaching is do these things and you earn playing time, or you earn the right to keep trying, because you're trusting in what we're doing in practice. So I was thrilled for her that she was able to kind of dig down deep and figure out how to do that. So huge bright spot. Didn't have as great of a performance against Illinois, but still came back and was trying to do some of the same things that she did against Nebraska.
And then against Illinois, again, another 3-0 loss in that one. But Morgan Leach, the lone senior on senior night, she started off 7 for 7 on the attack, ended up with double-digit kills. Can you just talk about Morgan a little bit? I know we've talked about her quite a few times, but especially on senior night to come out and play as well as she did.
Yeah, I told the players before the match, if you remember a couple of things about Morgan, you remember this. She always comes in positive every day to practice. She never has a bad attitude. If you ask her to do something, she does it and doesn't question you, and she's always going to give it everything she has, and she's a great teammate. So those things have really helped her, especially this season, to just be a great player. She's consistent, against ranked teams, against unranked teams, she's going to come out and she's going to give you a consistent performance, and I think she's proven that she's able to do that now, and so that's a really good role model for our players to see, as someone that can just come out and do her job. No drama, no attitude, just do your job, and it's really nice to see a senior be able to do that. And obviously we would have loved to at least taken a set or got a win against Illinois for her because of all she's given to our program, and playing Illinois, which is a huge rival for our program, but for her especially, coming right there from Champaign, Illinois. And that was a really special night for her, and I was really happy. She had so many family and friends here, and it was a great celebration of what she's done for our program over 4 years.
And this week I stopped in at practice to talk with Morgan on Friday about her thoughts going into that match and just kind of her thoughts in general about her 4 years at Indiana. So let's take a look at that video. I'm here at University Gym with lone senior Morgan Leach, getting ready for her final match at University Gym tomorrow night. How fast has this past 4 years gone for you?
It's gone faster every single season. This last season has definitely been the fastest. I feel like we just started preseason and we're just going up to New York and on that trip. But it really just has been fast.
Going back 4 years ago, why did you decide to come to Indiana?
Looking at the schools, first I decided that I was able to play college volleyball and I started the recruiting process, and I was looking at what conferences were kind of the best, and obviously Big Ten is one of the best conferences, kind of like SEC for football. But once I kind of realized that and realized I had the opportunity to be able to play at this level, I definitely wanted to. And then Indiana was just kind of the perfect fit. It's only 2.5 hours away from home, which isn't bad at all. It's a beautiful campus. I love all the limestone, and especially in the fall with all the trees. All the girls were great. It was definitely like a family atmosphere, which was something I was looking for. So it just kind of all worked out.
And what have been some of the challenges this season, being the lone senior on the team?
I think some of the challenges, it is difficult being the only senior, but there's a lot of juniors, so it's not like we have a lot of young kids, and we're all very close, which is different than it has been in past years. So I feel comfortable I could sit down with any of the girls and have a conversation with them.
Obviously, as a student athlete, a lot of your time is spent either here at the gym, working out, practicing, but what has been one of your favorite moments over the past 4 years away from volleyball?
Away from volleyball. I definitely think back to my freshman year when I roomed with Jen Smith, who's no longer here, and then Shantae was on my floor, and Colleen. That was one of my favorite times. It's just all the crazy things that we did in the dorms back in the day. And we just met a lot of friends through there. There's baseball players on the floor above us. We hung out with them, and a cheerleader who I'm still friends with 4 years later became one of my best friends here. So I think that was a good time. And just like we all bonded over the fact that we'd never been away from home for that long. So it's good. Lots of crazy times.
All right, thank you, Morgan, for taking the time sitting down with me today. And let's send it back over to myself with Coach Dunbar in her office. Thanks, Sean. Great field reporting by him. I think he's got a really bright
He's
future,
got a huge future.
In this sports media industry.
We're digging deep now. It's the end of the season.
Final week of the season. Team goes on the road. Michigan on Wednesday, Minnesota on Friday. In the past few weeks, we've talked about playing teams that you've already lost to, but this week you get to play two teams that you've already beaten, both at home. So does that help mentality-wise going into those matches?
I think it's a pro and a con. I think you look at them, and we played at a really high level, but that was a long time ago against them. I think they're both playing, you look at Minnesota just swept Purdue. Michigan's playing extremely well right now. They're both going to be playing at home. So I think it's a huge challenge for us. I think it at least gives us that confidence that we can beat these two teams, but we're going to have to give it our best effort and really show up to compete and have a purpose, I think, to play for right now, and we need that purpose. So, I'm really looking forward to it. A lot of people are like, oh, we're on the road for 5 days and everything, but I think it's a really good opportunity for us to grow as a team and to really look at what this season has been about and to finish this season the way we want to finish it and to spend some really good team time together. So we leave on Tuesday, we come back on basically Saturday morning. And we get to spend Thanksgiving together, and I'm really looking forward to spending this with the team. So we need to have a couple of really good practices, and we need to really have the right attitude going into these matches and understand what they mean for our program to end the season on. We need to play at a higher level. We need to get back to playing like we did when we played Minnesota and Michigan. And that's our biggest objective, is to end this season knowing that we turned things a little bit here at the end and found a way to win together. And going into the off season, I think that's the biggest motivation we can have for our program, is that growth that we've been preaching about, and not to end it with 6 wins, but to end it with 7 or 8 wins. I think that's the biggest purpose for us.
All right, so that's going to do it for us this week for Coach Dunbar-Kruzan. I'm Sean Nash. Be sure to tune into both broadcasts on IUHoosiers.com, my final 2 broadcasts here with IU Volleyball. And we will be back next week with one last coaches show to wrap up the season, so be sure to tune into that as well.